Hi, this is Jeff Franklin for ACE Security Laminates. We all know the destructive force of hurricanes. We've seen the videotape. Maybe some of you have lived through an actual hurricane and the damage caused from Category 1 all the way through to Category 5 hurricanes. It's tremendous, the kind of damage caused to property, buildings, automobiles. We've seen the uprooted trees. We've seen the projectiles go through windows. And specifically, that's what we're talking about today, hurricane testing and your windows. Joining me, Kevin White is ACE Security's Chief Destructive Engineer. And Kevin, welcome. We've got some great things to show people and some great subject matter to talk about when it comes to hurricane testing.
Yes, thank you.
Let's talk about the testing specifically, hurricane-resistant tests. There's a couple, aren't there?
Okay, yeah, there's basically two categories. There's a large missile and a small missile test. They are basically a variation on the theme, simulating debris that is fired at a window during a hurricane. We have the large missile and we have the small missile test.
Is there some differentiation between the small and large missile tests?
Yes, depending on what your product can pass in the way of test, whether it be the large missile or small missile, categorizes where you can sell your products to. For instance, if you were to pass the large missile test, you can install your products literally from ground level up to 30 feet and beyond. However, if you just get the small missile protocols, and you're looking at installing your products from 30 feet and above.
Kevin, tell me why choose to certify ACE Security Laminates against the Miami-Dade protocol?
They're considered to be the hardest and most stringent in the test business.
And the large missile test that you alluded to a moment ago, exactly what is required to pass the large missile test? We have some great video here.
Okay, well, basically using a pressurized air cannon, you fire a 2x4 into two locations on the glass or the specimen, right in the center and then 6 inches from the corner.
Yeah, and we just saw that now, right dead center of the glass, and that 2x4, what speed was that going?
That's going at 50 feet a second, which is about 35 miles an hour.
And the corner, now you set the corner test specifically because that is a weaker area of the glass?
Well, essentially you're now not only testing the glass, but the corner of the frame, whether that glass will pull out of that particular area.
Let's talk about the small missile test. What does it take to pass this?
Small missile test is obviously a smaller test, or basically you are simulating roof gravel flying or being picked up by the wind and flying at the glass. It's fired, or they use 10 2-gram ball bearings, steel ball bearings, fired at the glass at 130 feet a second or 80 miles an hour.
And we're watching that right now?
Yes.
The gravel or these ball bearings actually hitting the glass?
Correct.
We've talked about the large missile test, we've talked about the small missile test. Kevin, what about the cyclic wind pressure test? What does it actually simulate?
Well, again, once you've impacted the specimens, in real life situation, that may be right initially at the start of the hurricane. That window now has to survive the entire role of surviving that hurricane. So once the specimens are impacted, they're taken over and simulated to a full hurricane force, starting off at a very low pressure, seeing the pressure rise to the full intense hurricane force, and then as it's leaving the area, you have the negative phase or the suction phase of the testing, where the hurricane is now leaving the area. It's quite a different force.
Something that we can all relate to. Either we've seen it on television news footage, or maybe those people who live in the hurricane zones have actually had to board their windows up. But boarding windows is not exactly the best way to go. Talk about why it's so important to have the kind of security laminate that ACE has available.
Well, obviously plywood is something that you do when you know a hurricane is coming. Security laminates and security films as strong as this are protection 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You don't have to predict when the hurricane is going to arrive. You already have protection built into your glass.
Certainly a lot of great information. I think we have more information available to those who choose to make a phone call or to actually email you.
Yes, we have the full test report from Architectural Testing, who conducted our testing, and you can email me and I will be able to supply the full test report.
Certainly a very strong case for the superiority and the protective value of ACE Security Laminates. I'd like to thank Kevin White from ACE Securities for joining us today. I think there's a very strong case for the benefit and protective value of ACE Security. Thanks for watching. I'm Jeff Franklin.